Hello all, this is CrimsenOverlord, and in part 2 of this full game, we actually start doing the Easter egg. So I'm gonna narrate a little bit just to kind of explain what we were doing, and I'll post in the description the steps in text. So first, after you turn the power on, you go knife the door a couple times. Um, Once they start talking about being blind and uh, here you go. This is my favorite quote right here. I love that quote. I don't know why. It's just funny. Wait. Yeah, I love that. Okay, so now they finally noticed that I'm outside. So now I just have to knife the door again. Okay. So now they've mentioned they've mentioned that they need a fuse.
Well, there's zombies out here. I ain't making any promises.
Alright, so then you go upstairs, and somewhere in this room up here is the fuse, which usually is on this table here. There it is.
Here's the fuse.
You just hold X on it, pick it up, and you go put it in the fuse box. And then they're gonna talk some more.
Now I can see the problem. We must have gone too far into the future. Look, the teleporter's completely broke. The time circuits are down. We have to reroute them.
Wait. You did this here on purpose? Where are we?
A better question, Jack. Great, Nikolai. You've just activated the NPC security system. Right. Yeah. The hunting one. It will locate the power sources of the security system. They look like little controls. Kind of like a big...
Yeah, I know I missed the end of that. He's just basically saying destroy the generators with the blinking light. From here, you can see one. There's one over in between the two ship halves over there, which I'll get later. There's one behind the lighthouse back by Stamin-up, which you can see from the top of the lighthouse. I didn't actually get that one. I'll show it to you. If somebody wants me to make an actual video showing where everything is, I will. I can do an actual, I don't know, what do you call it, video for that. Right now I'm getting the crawlers away so I don't blow them up, because we want to do the Easter egg like in one go. So we don't want to have to do any more rounds before we do the Easter egg. So I'm just kind of getting the zombies over here out of the way so that I can get down there and blow up the one that's in that room. And at first I was waiting for somebody to come babysit them for me, and then I just kind of realized that they're far enough away, so I just went and did it myself. So there's one in the room, there's one between the ship halves, one behind the lighthouse, and one off the... I call it the front of the ship. Some people call it the back. It's the power room area part of the ship. I call it the front because it's near the starting area. So it's off that. It's easiest to see if you like open the door to double tap root beer. But alright, so you do this. You just throw grenades. Some Texas work best for most of them. Blows up the little red light. If you're good at cooking frags, they seem to take a little longer to... I mean, they seem to be cookable a little bit longer in zombies than in multiplayer. So I kind of have trouble doing it. But if you're good at cooking frags, the one behind the lighthouse is really easy to get from Stamin-up area with a frag. Otherwise, I would recommend using Simtaxes. The scavenger is good because you can hit the things from far away, and there's two different what do you call it? There's two or three that you can hit with scavenger pretty easy. Okay, I'm gonna jump down here, and you can kind of see them down there. They're trying to blow one up, and he had frags, and he was just not cooking the frags right. So, because I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to cook frags in this game, especially for the generators. The scavengers got this gigantic blast radius, and you still sometimes can't blow up the generators with it. So, you know, I come over here, and I'm pretty good with the Simtexes, so, you know, that only takes me one try. And then I'm going to go get more Simtexes because I only have one. and it usually takes me 2 tries to get the extra generator that I'm going for. That's where the Semtexes are, in case you didn't know. It's back towards where the box spawns back there, past jugs. And I'm going to ignore George here. And it's usually best, depending on where you're at when you decide to blow up the generators, it's usually best to do this one first and then the one I just did, because you don't have to run as far going back up a second time. But over here, see, there's like a generator right here. It is usually easier if you get up there on that ledge to my right where double tap root beer is, and there's a weapon back there too, I think, but I don't know what it is. And okay, all the generators are gone, and so now Crimson Dragon is going to knife the door for me so that they'll start talking again. And like I said, I can do another video where we actually hear them. I'll do the entire thing myself. Basically now we're going to be looking for a chunk of ice with a bottle in it. It's going to be on one of these railings. Any railing that has a walkable floor underneath it where someone can stand. Someone told me there's only 4 spawn locations. I haven't counted. We've only seen it in like 3. So, and you just look around and because Nikolai's asking for vodka. And Richtofen wants him to have it, so he's distracted and not paying attention to what's going on. So, we're looking. They found it over there by the actual crew room over there, which is what I'm calling that area where the crew is. I'm trying to get George out of the way because I have to come back. I have to be up here for the next part, or one of the next parts. I see you down there. So that's a good way to get him out. If you're up at the top of the ship, just kind of take him off and take the zip line, and he'll follow you straight to the water there. Alright, so the next part after the vodka is, let's see, vodka, yeah, okay, the next part after the vodka is the lighthouse dials, which I only mess with 2, and then Crimson Dragon usually messes with the bottom 2. It helps, like it, yeah, when you know that it's safe to go do the rest of the steps once Nikolai starts talking about dancing. And then once Dempsey starts singing, where there's like 99 bottles of beer on the wall or whatever, then they just do that continuously until you're done with the Easter egg. I kind of wish I hadn't been talking there. I forgot that I could hear him when I was up there. Yeah, he's Richtofen's asking you to find a long, stiff, hard goldenrod. So now we're gonna go do this part. Yeah, once he says goldenrod, that's when you're supposed to start the next step. So come up here. You set the yellow dial to 2. Just keep pushing X on it until it gets to 2. All right, then you go down and you find out here, wherever it is. You find out here. Okay, we need to turn the orange one once. So you go down to blue and you turn it once so that orange turns with it. And I'm not actually pushing the button there because each floor moves the floor above and below it. Then after you turn blue, so orange turns to 7, then you turn purple to 6, and then that's 3 steps, and that's all we had to do this time. But sometimes there's 5 steps. Sometimes you have to come back up and you have to turn. You have to turn orange until blue is 4, I think it is. I'll have it posted in the description. And then you have to come back up and check this one and make sure it's still a 2. So 2, 7, 4, 6. Yeah, that sounds right. We actually don't have the number for each floor memorized. We just have the steps, how many times you have to turn them memorized. So we're done with the lighthouse here, and you don't go knife the door again. From now on, it's just all steps not involving the door which is convenient because coming back to knife the door is kind of irritating. So one of these days I'm just gonna go like record all the songs for the parks. I like that Deadshot Daiquiri song. It's kind of funny. Alright, so after you do the lighthouse dials, then you have to do the radios. And there's 9 radios, I believe. 5 of them have like Richtofen doing kind of like a Dear Diary thing, where he's doing like notes about test subjects. You actually hear him talking, and it's kind of fuzzy and staticky, and they're just kind of story-based things. And then the other 4 radios are for the Easter egg. Alright, and this is radio number 1 right here in the power room. Okay, or underneath the power room. You push this. And so it does static, then it beeps a couple times, and it does static again. Once it's done with that, then the second person hits radio number 2, which is underneath the crew room, underneath, or no, it's in the crew room. Yeah, underneath Flopper. And then this is number 3 I'm running to. It only takes 2 people to do this Easter egg. You don't need 4, which a lot of people thought you did. This is number 3 here. Wait for it to beep and whatever. And then number 4 is back by Stamin-up. And then that little light pops up in the sky, does Morse code. And then next step is to come down here. Well, not come down here, but to go to the power room. So in the power room are 3 levers and a steering wheel. Alright. The steering wheel turns left and right. I didn't know that the first time I did this Easter egg, so I ended up turning it right and then left, not realizing that I put it back to starting position again. So you guys careful of that. So you push this left one once, so that it goes down once, and then the right one 3 times, so it's all the way down. And then you turn the steering wheel right twice. I always try to stay to the right side to make sure it turns. And then you hear foghorns. If you have your sound effects turned down like I do, the foghorns are not very loud. So you kind of have to turn your sound effects up when you do this part if you want to actually hear the pattern. A lot of people were thinking it was a random pattern, so they were kind of trying to memorize what pattern it was. We found out it's the same every time. So this is number 1 here. You got to push this thing here, and it makes a foghorn noise. And number 2, the guy has to wait until it's done. Once the full foghorn sound is done, then the second guy can push number 2, and then number 3 was down there over there by the lighthouse, as you saw, and then it puts this green beam here, which we do not have the weapon required to do the rest of the Easter egg now. You have to have a VR11, and you have to turn a zombie into a human at the bottom of the lighthouse, and then you have to kill him as he's being sucked up that green light, which is easiest done with like a scavenger and or a ray gun. I think we ended up like lighting him up with a ray gun, a commando, and a scavenger just to make sure, because the guy with the scavenger and the guy with the ray gun didn't have PhD Flopper, so they almost died. Alright, and so when we come back, when we get to the second part of the Easter egg, which will be in the next video, I will narrate what to do there.
invading my personal space!
You are up shit creek without power, girl. And you don't even got a canoe. Doggone and sign your own death warrant.
Come on!
I just want to talk.
Sonny boy, you let your mouth overload your foot.
There you are.
Maybe now we can see where they're at. These ones aren't wasting any time!
Peace,
Who did it? Was that us? Fire failed. Is there an ammo store around here?
What, crazy gun?